and the land speeders. That's quite a good one. You've got space wolves, which is basically Vikings, if you want to term space marine Vikings, for want of a better term. They come riding thunder wolves. They have a whole wolf, wolf pelts on them. They're in like a bluey grey armor. They're known for their cavalry. They're known for their Wolf Guard Terminators as well. But I would say Space Wolves are, lore-wise, they're not that vanilla. But in terms of how you play them on the table, they're probably, other than a few special units, they can feel quite vanilla sometimes when you see what people put on the table. Blood Angels are a real interesting one, because that is your proper melee close combat. All chapters can do it, but Blood Angels lead heavily into that. They're known for their close combat dreadnoughts, which is special to them. They also have librarian dreadnoughts, so magic using dreadnoughts, which is special to them. They have blood red armor. They're basically kind of good. If anyone is good, no one's really good in Warhammer 40k, but they're kind of good like vampires in space, because they have this like disease thing. They have Death Company, which are basically suicidal marines with black armor. So they have some really cool stuff. But for me, if you were looking, this might be kind of hyper specific. Don't know how an equivalent. Unicorn Overlord strategy game. The main thing you do in that game is you head to strategic points and hold them while you slowly push. Well, I have to say,
the beast has fallen. Its brood is dead.
That is pretty much how you play 40k. So I don't know if you so when you play a game of 40k, it is not you kill the other army. That's not how you win. So 40k changed a while ago from that. So when it was first around, it was, how much can you kill of the opposing army? That's not how it plays anymore. Now, when you play 40k, there are specific missions with objectives and objective markers on the board, and you have to basically control the different objective markers, and there are different numbers depending on the mission, different deployment zones, so sometimes you deploy on certain different parts of the table. So it's much more objective based. It's not just kill the enemy army. There's no mission that is just kill the enemy army. So you get these main objectives, and then you get secondary objectives as well. So secondary objectives means you can score points for assassinating a warlord, killing wizards, wiping out units, holding a certain amount of the board. So if you had units in 3/4 of a 4/4 board, you get points for that. So Warhammer 40k as a game is completely objective based, and so it is how you move the units around. So it's not just moving from one side of the table to the other. It's really not played like that. And in terms of an army slowly moving forward, it's what Space Marines are. They're not the quickest by any means. You can put them in armoured personnel carriers and transports to move them around, but generally they're not the quickest. So, I would say they're fairly durable. They're relatively slow moving. You can speed them up with transports or jetpacks. Terminators can teleport, so you can get some mobility in there as well. But from what you're saying, Marines seem like that is the case. And if you're looking for a vanilla experience but not the poster boy blue, if I was to recommend a chapter, I would say Dark Angels, because you can get the vanilla experience from them. Plus, you can play on some of the other elements like the whole Terminator armies, the jet bike armies, and so on. And they also probably have one of the nicest looking models in the entire range, which is their Primarch, which is the Warlord Lionel Johnson. What an amazing looking miniature too. So if I was going to recommend you one, I would definitely recommend a Dark Angels. And even myself, even though I'm a poster boy blue person, I actually do have a Dark Angel army, a small one. Yeah, and I mean, if you wanted an army that is very much slowly grinding, like, then that's Necrons, right? They're the undead, if you like, of 40k, where you knock them down, they get back up, they can repair themselves. They're a very durable attrition style army, I would say. So that kind of slow grinding advance with maybe some flyers overhead, with some crazy sort of hover tank things, like a giant pyramid thing that moves around the board. Necrons are that slow grinding advance, but they are not in any shape or form the vanilla Marine experience. But yeah, 40k is completely objective based now. In fact, nearly all of
bought Meridian precious time,
the Warhammer
Commander.
games are.
With the apex creature dead, Imperial Guard forces are deploying to eradicate the smaller organisms.
That is a delaying tactic at best, Commander. Unless they destroy every microscopic spore, the infestation will eventually resurface.
We cannot allow Meridian to fall, Commander! I have no love for the planetary nobility, but the billions below them must be saved!
We are warriors, not saviors, Thaddeus.
What? What does that even mean?
That we are the Emperor's angels of death, not his angels of mercy. Leave saving to the confessors and the holy sisters.
How can you be so blind?
Oh my God, this is the bit
We
that I'm
are
kind of like,
weapons,
this isn't...
but we fight for all those whom the Emperor protects. Here, today, we are their only hope.
You can worry about hope and salvation, child. I will kill enough for us both.
This bickering just isn't that common. It's more common in the Chaos Legions. Yeah, so that's what Necrons do. I mean, everyone's got shenanigans, right? Because no army is truly just a big squads moving forwards, right? But Necrons, of all of them, like a typical Space Marine squad is 10, right? Sometimes broken down into combat squads of 5, and specialist troops can be anything from sort of 3 to 5, typically 3 to 6, right? And you'll find that most basic troop squads in the game are not bigger than 10. But it's not uncommon to see Necron squads of 20 of Necron warriors. And they're basically Terminators, right? They are giant robots who has an entire race of people had their consciousness transferred into these robots. They were tricked, but that's what happened. So they're basically Terminators. And they basically... You know, they're relatively slow as troops moving across the board, but there's shenanigans, right? You can have them in a flyer and teleport them down. You've got these little jet bike ones. You've got like a Triarch Stalker, which is like a thing on legs, like a spider thing that's got a heat ray, which is good for like sort of heavy armor stuff. You've got Doomsday Cannon things, which is like a full-on anti-tank. Yeah, as a second army, like I say, in terms of that vanilla experience, I would definitely look and see what's available. I mean, starter boxes are a really good way to go. If you found someone or knew somebody that was interested in playing as well, and they wanted to go Tyranids, for example, and you want the Marines, then you can go half and half on a starter box. I've done that many times. I've taken the Marines and the other person's taken the Xeno faction. Some people buy that and they eBay it off as well. That's another way of doing it. So there's easy ways to start like that. Every faction has a start collecting box, which is another good way of getting into a faction. And if you've got a local Warhammer store, you can go in and play an introductory game. Like, you can go and play several introductory games. It doesn't cost you a penny. You can get a feel of the game. Is that Warhammer community an official Warhammer store, or is it a local club? That I want. That I want. 2 days left. I've got 1 deployment remaining. So... If I get that, which is 2 days remaining, and then run over here and get that. I want that too. That's got 5 days left. So this one first. Word of the chapter. Defense. Okay, Eldar defense. Local club, you think? They have stuff for sale, so it might be official. To be honest, most people are pretty friendly in 40k. You're always going to get the super competitive players, the win at all cost players, but you find out who those are pretty quick, and those are the people you generally try and avoid. But I tell you, most people are pretty friendly, to be honest, and there's tons and tons of content online. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about how games play, I really like watching Tabletop Titans. Tabletop Titans on YouTube, they do lots and lots of battle reports for 40k of all factions and tips as well. Play on Tabletop as well. And I think, was it 40k in 20 minutes or something like that as well as another one. But Tabletop Titans is a really good source of YouTube, of just watching a few games, watching how it plays. Now these are pro players, but they generally play on their stream with lots of different armies, lots of different army lists, different units, rather than just the same competitive stuff all the time. So I would definitely recommend, download a few Tabletop Titan videos and just watch them when you're on the toilet or something like that, or on a train. That's a good source of it. You need a 2k army. Join us around. No, you don't need a 2k army. You could walk in a local club. You could walk in with 500 points, and it doesn't even have to be painted, and there'll be somebody there that will give you a quick skirmish game to learn the rules. Don't even try and learn the rules with 2k. There's too many units with too many special rules, and it'll blow your mind. Start with 500 points, pick yourself a cool character and a couple of cool squads, right? And then go up to 1,000 points and play a few games at 1,000 points with your same cool character and a couple of squads, which you now know how to play, and maybe add a vehicle, maybe add something that's a bit funky, like that's got a jump pack, or that's close combat as opposed to shooting or something like that, and do that. You don't need to start with 2k, and I don't recommend you start with 2k. It would be a nightmare to learn. It'd be a nightmare to learn starting with a 2k army, which is why I say it looks expensive, and that's, if you want to go and buy a 2k army outright, but I certainly don't recommend you do that.
Foundry.
Suffice it to know that they wish it, Avitus.
Just go and
if we fail to protect the generators powering the foundry, they will have it.
Just go and get yourself 500 points or whatever as a starter. A start collecting box is normally the best place to go, and that should give you enough points to at least start the look on where you're going. Enough points to play a game, some skirmish, that sort of thing. Right, so I've chosen this mission. It's got 2 days left, but it has a level 20 Stormbolter, and I'm using Tarkus a lot, and Tarkus needs a good Stormbolter. Unfortunately, though, it is also Eldar, and Eldar can be a nightmare. Where is that little weasel? There they are. These guys are a pain in the neck, because you really need to take them out in melee. So those are Eldar Warp Spiders. Oh, we've got Warlocks coming in as well.
Enemy troops destroyed. Do not let his.
See, they just teleport everywhere. They got a D cannon over there as well. Get rid of that. That D cannon's nasty as. There we go. Where are you going, people? Yeah, I have to say, fighting Eldar on defense is rough because they have such good range. Coupled with those warp spiders, which just get everywhere. But we're alright at the moment on generators. I am packing rights of repair with Avitus, so I can repair the generators. Yeah, so I really love my Warhammer, and I've played Warhammer 40k, as I said, since the very early 90s. So I'm a big fan. So I love talking about it. I mean, what you see behind me in the room, I've got 2 of the IKEA Billy bookcases. That is just my Warhammer the Old World models. And then I've probably got another 5 or 6 Billy bookcase worth of just miniatures, 40k, 30k, and some Age of Sigmar as well. And then I've got a whole bunch of like the Warhammer board games and stuff like that. So. Can we get more in here? There we go. They also jump around. Oh crap, there's a D-cannon.
Let his sacrifice be in vain. Our fortifications are under assault. Another enemy crushed.
40k is the most popular. It just depends on what sort of game you want. I personally am not a fan of Age of Sigmar. I just don't like the way the rules play, but a lot of people love it. 40k is massive in comparison. It is by far the biggest game. I like Warhammer the Old World, one from a nostalgia point of view, because I actually started my Warhammer hobby with Warhammer Fantasy Battles, so this is kind of like those roots. But the other thing with the Old World is it's a rank and flank game. So if you've ever seen a Total War game, video game, it plays like that, right? So you're using big units ranked up, and it has very particular movement rules and stuff like that. Crap, get rid of that D-cannon. Got a bloody Wraith Lord coming in as well. Okay, get rid of the Wraith Lord, because his bone sword will chop me up. Ah! Get him! Avitus, why are you in hand-to-hand combat again? Oh, and there's another D-cannon. Jesus! We did get the Wraith Lord, though. There we go. D-cannon down. Right, get the anti-tank. Tarkus, stay alive. So yeah, people refer to it by its short name, which is 30k. Essentially, it is what is the Horus Heresy. So it is essentially when there was a big civil war, when essentially Chaos Legions were formed, because you have the Space Marine Legions split and go into civil war, and that's what 30k is all about. So it's basically almost like a time in history, but the rule set between 30k and 40k is very different. Though a lot of the models that you use in 30k can be used in 40k. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But the rules are different, quite different, and even the way you build some of the squads. So you can use some of the models, but they wouldn't necessarily even look the same or have the same weapons. want to write a repair on that generator just in case.
Target eliminated.
Oh, D-cannon again. Man, these bloody D-cannons. And the anti-tank. Can you get rid of the anti-tank? Ah! Kill the anti-tank, please! There you go. Now go after the rainfall. Give him a shield. There we go.
Back to the shadows, Eldar.
Well
If
done,
you grab
Commander.
40k stuff,
The
can you
foundry
use them in
remains operational
30k?
and under our control.
Victory is but a prelude to the next battle.
To a point. To a point. It's more the other way around, and it's because of the historical side of things. So, like marks of armor, for example. So, like Mark 3, 4, and 5 armor looks very specific, and 6 armor looks very specific, and that's specific to 30k. But of course, lots of suits of armor have survived 10,000 years and are in 40k, so you can use them. Some weapons are different. I think, yes, you can, but I would definitely do your research before you do it on that basis, if you know what I mean. Though if you're playing in a local club and you're not playing in tournaments, to be honest, a lot of time you can play with whatever the hell you want. You can go, this here is a tank, and I'm going to use it as a tank for the purple of this battle. So, I mean, lots of people are fairly chill in most clubs to let you do counts as long as it's not crazy. Invictus Sanctus on Twitch as well. Thanks for joining. You'd say yes and no, but 30k can be used in 40k. 40k cannot always be used in 30k. Yeah, absolutely. Also, hi, and you love Warhammer. So yeah, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to our Warhammer 40k chat. Cool. We got that Stormbolt that we wanted. That was the main reason we did that.
The foundry is secure now, Commander. We are uncertain why the Eldar wanted the foundry. Usually they do not care to use our technology.
This is true. Right. How are we doing here? So we've got 5 days left. That's cool. But I don't have the Terminator armor for Thaddeus to use it yet. And it's got 5 days left. That is none of that's on time limit. This is on a short time limit, which is that level 20 for Heavy Flamer for Terminator armor. So I definitely think I want to do that. And I've got 2 deployments remaining. So I'm thinking I might do that and then head to Typhon and get that Terminator armor. And I can give that to Thaddeus at that point. Because I don't care about that, that's just garbage. Okay, right. We did get a bunch of gear there. Look at, oh my god, gear a go-go. All of this is a completely waste. Don't need any of that. Just taking up space. Ooh, Righteous Inferno. Growling Hate. Get rid of that one. Level 20, level 16. Right, okay. And I get rid of that one as well. Right, Tarkus, yes, cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's much better than what we had. Because I'm using Tarkus as a meat shield anyway, right? So I just need to get him a really nice power fist. But that one, that's not... I don't have another Terminator fist right now. Ooh, so what's that? That's a level 19 Terminator fist. We did have another one somewhere. Where was it? No. 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 Okay. Right, so let's go and do this one for defense. I'm going to go get the other Terminator armor. as we tool our guys up, ideally getting us all level 20 gear. Right, 2 days left. It's a defense mission. Defend the foundry. Yeah, okay. Orks.
The Orks are preparing to assault one of our automated foundries, Commander. It is these foundries that allow us to rapidly redeploy and launch multiple strikes. You must repel the Ork attack or the foundry will fall.
So the problem, this is the one problem I find with this game, like the campaign gets really cool until like this bit, and then you just find yourself doing optional mission, optional mission, optional mission, optional mission, and it's just the same stuff over and over. It's almost like they ran out of story missions for you to do to then
they will direct their attacks at the
finally level up and get all the gear.
They should direct their attacks at us. That would actually give them a chance to
Well,
succeed.
have you seen Anniversary Edition, Dawn of War, on Steam right now, ridiculously cheap for all the Dawn of Wars. So Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War 1, and it's an Anniversary Edition. I think it's like, I don't know, $7 or $10 or something, and it's got every single bit of DLC. Like all of it.
The enemy is destroying a key structure.
On Steam, and on Steam it works really well. The only thing I would say on Dawn of War 2, I found that playing in a full screen causes me some crashes, which is why I'm playing in windowed mode. And it tends to be on the video cutscenes. You already own them. There you go. That's great, but like I say, it's. I think there's going to be a few people going back to Dawn of War with such a good deal on Steam right now. But they're so good. They're such good fun. I love it. I love it, and that's why I'm streaming it as well. With all the popularity of Warhammer right now, following Space Marine 2, which I don't own yet, mainly due to cost. Waiting for the sale. I do believe they've sold 2 million copies now of Space Marine 2, which is awesome.
Hostiles purged.
Okay. Where did you come from? Like, where were you? Right, let's come back here. We're well away from where we need to be. They did. It's an amazing game. Ah, you've got it and played it then. Yeah, I was away when it came out, so I didn't get a chance to play it. So buying it brand new for stream content isn't kind of worth it now because I've missed the window. So I'm kind of waiting for it to reduce in price because I'm not sat there with a money tree in the backyard. Unfortunately, if only I had those seeds. With which you have more time to play it. Well, I understand the campaign is like, what, 10 hours or something? And then after that you're into like the co-op missions if you want to level up and do all the stuff in the co-op stuff. I understand the PvP is kind of like fun for a little bit, but overall the PvP is not really what the game's built around. It's kind of mediocre. Give me a repair on that Abatus. Today, maybe, Abatus? Where the frick are you? Yeah, I wasn't a great fan of the PvP. 7 to 10 hours, mostly just co-op and PvP. But they're doing more of those those co-op missions, right? Isn't that's where the expansions piece is going? All the new content, right? Like the roadmap's built predominantly around those co-op missions and obviously some of the PvP, but predominantly around the co-op missions, I understand. So But like, there's nothing there. Like, unlike an MMO, I'm not going to be behind the curve. I'm not going to miss out on anything by not having it on day one. So I'm fairly chill about not having it right now. You know, and at $60 with a ton of other, you know, I've got 50 games on my wish list on Steam that I can't afford to get. So I'm $60.